Welcome everyone to this week's dragon activation. Each week, the dragons give me a theme, and when these messages come through, it's always about the theme of what's going on universally, cosmically, and you'll be feeling this because I'm feeling this too. So, this week's theme is really about the frequency upgrade. Every single week, we come in and we listen to the dragons and we allow ourselves to be upgraded because we're interacting, we're integrating the messages that they're giving us week on week on week, so that we are becoming more aware that we are a spiritual being having a human experience, and so we move forward. Now, the theme this week is really all about how do you start to perceive and operate as the spirit rather than coming from the lack, coming from the I'm not enough, coming from the way that we've been trained as a human to operate. So the dragons are kind of saying this week, how can you put that to one side and allow yourself to remember to break through and to start claiming God's inheritance. God's inheritance means that you are a spirit. Let more of your spirit through. Instead of operating at 10%, start operating at 20, 30, 40, 50. Then when you're 50%, you can start looking at things in a very different way. And most people I speak to here are working in that operating way. They are already accessing intuition, already accessing their clairvoyance, already accessing the dragons, so many people. Now, we're talking to a completely different generation. So obviously this is the way we're going to be operating from now on. But obviously we fall back into the human way of operating things when we get panicked or no money's coming, or there's a separation, or there's a house move, or there's something else going on. Now we've all got, now I think last week we were talking about, weren't we, the shit show, when things go, oh my God, when the full moon comes up and everybody just goes crazy, relationships kind of go, Arr! So, we're talking about the shit show. How are we handling the shit show, knowing that we are spirits? So we're asking, how do we do this? And it's very interesting what came up at the end of this reading as well. So, and then what I'll do is that then I'll go into reading the dragon cards for you. So as I'm talking, pick up what's happening. This is not for your mind. This is for your whole body, your cells, because this is spirit. All of you is spirit. The more that we have access to, the more that we allow in, the broader band of the intellect, the wisdom, the just sheer bright wisdom that is available for us. So allow all of this message in. It's not through your thoughts, not through your mind, not through your feelings, your beliefs, your stories. Those all need to change. It's allowing this kind to come in, to resonate, to be integrated into all of you, every single cell. So this is for your body, your cells, and your soul. We are speaking to your soul this week. So if you'd like to receive more, this is an opportunity to amplify this experience of receiving. Every single week I'm here doing this. So don't miss it, don't fight it. Actually just turn up, and then whatever card you get, whatever springs up, then integrate that into your life this week, and you will notice, you will start looking at things from a soul's perspective. You'll start going, oh, God, I don't do that anymore. So instead of being the little one, the human, meaning 10% of you, you already believe that there is a bigger part, there's something bigger than you. So we are allowing that bigger part to come in, and we have access to that through the conduit and the safe place that we create. If you've worked with me before, if you've listened to me before, you'll start to understand the repetition that goes on here. So we're being asked to step aside from your human self, the small self. The dragons often say, dear one. They don't mean it in a derogatory way, but it's like, take your ego out of it. Do you know how precious you are? The dragons want to know that they are in reverence of you. The fact that you've come here to do this, to completely be forgotten, to be educated into ways that just do not operate well within you, and for you to start remembering. Now, I'm on my journey. I'm not any by any manner of means at the end of the journey, but I've done a hell of a lot of work, and the dragons are stretching and stretching me every single week to see things from their perspective. So it's a good chance, it's a very good chance that you will resist and that your mind will not understand. And that's always what I'm offering in my groups and in my conversations, that you have a body filled of joy, that you start operating. Now, I've been shown to do it this way, that you're operating from above the line. Here underneath the table is survival. This is what we've been taught. This is what the human operates at. Oh, I'm not good enough. I've got to learn more. There's more to be understood. Things are not going well. How do I do this? You start even asking questions from under the table. I don't know how to do this. Please show me how, which is one of my, the questions I've often asked. But then as soon as you start living above the table, it's like, oh my God, how amazing is this? How on earth did I get here? Like, what did I have to do to get here? This is amazing. So we start asking questions in a different way. How did I get so supported is one of the questions. How did I get so organized? How did I get so wealthy? My goodness, how did I get so abundant? This is incredible. So we start operating from above the survival line. Now, the survival line I was shown is like the line of love. Okay. So this is what we came in here to do. We came here to operate above the line of love, above the 528 hertz. And I was shown years ago to start operating at 664. This is where the dragons sort of started coming in for me. And of course, we just keep elevating. There is so much above the line. So love and above. I'm just saying now, love and above. So if you're ready to go deeper, I have an event on Thursday, which is for the human, how to double your income and double your impact, but taking it from above the line. How are we going to operate and how are we going to believe that we have full access to all of this, that we can integrate this, we can ignite this, and we can take on our inheritance. I do talk with my hands, so sometimes it's a little bit light languagey, but just go with it and feel this in for yourself. Like, feel it through your body, not through my words, but just you have access, which is God's inheritance, or cosmic inheritance, divine inheritance. If you don't like the word God, you have access to all of that, to the abundance of it, to the wealth of that. And every single week, we are incrementally taking you further. We are stretching your ability. We're opening your mind to the concept and we're stepping you into that. So without further ado, I'm going to start reading the cards. So you need to have picked a number between 1, 2, 3, and 4, a number between 1 and 4, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Very easy. I've been doing this for years. And hear the message that's coming through for you, because this is just an incremental step for you to activate and integrate this week. We are going to be talking about what you can do, how you can activate yourself further and start operating. So operating at the highest version of you, seeing the joy in everything, being able to enjoy yourself, be in the present moment. How can you increase your intuition? How can you read into your clients? How can you ask the spirit of your business, which is often what I talk about, how we can ask the spirit of our business, right? Okay, what's going on this week? What do you need me to know this week? And these are the business readings that I do as well. I'm often reading into the business and asking what's up for us this week, what's going on for this week. And this is what I do with my VIP clients. So why dragons? The dragons are here because they want you to step into your divine inheritance. Let's put it that way. Your cosmic inheritance. Do you know who you are? Was one of the themes a few weeks ago. Have you any idea who you are? And the first message that came through from me from Serafina was, you don't know how powerful you are. Once you break through, once you claim your inheritance, your power, and you start creating your own future. So this is the journey. This is for us to have a remembrance, just to enjoy how wonderful you are. Now, I will click below. There will also be a chance for you to see a very short clip of how I was walking someone through into their remembrance of, oh gosh, if I'm 95% spirit, then why am I worried about that? I don't need to prove myself. So that's part one, which will be in a clip below. That leads on to part two, which is basically the incremental steps of how to stretch yourself into abundance. And that's something that I'll be touching in on my live this week. So let's get on with the cards. So let's just put the message into the cards. Put the message into the cards of how we live above the line. How do we live knowing that we are spiritual, that we are incredible, that we are fundamentally divine? All right, so here we go. Marvelous, marvelous. First card has come out. This is Seraphina number 4. And yes, I brought my glasses with me. So number 4. Don't forget that these are activations as you listen to the words of the dragons. As you listen to the words of the dragons, these are activations for you every single week. So Seraphina, card number 4, step aside and get out of your own way. Now, isn't that absolutely fortuitous that that is exactly what we're talking about this week? So I'll read some of it because it's a couple of pages. But as I read it, please don't be in your head, be in your body. Receive the frequency that is coming through with this. Don't let your ego and the little things and the need to survive deter you and get in the way of your greatness. To reach your deeper intention, you as your personality self in your current identity, and as who you know yourself to be now, need to be able to just take a step back and a step to the side. The challenge that you face now on this planet is knowing that you, dressed in your human body, chose to come to this planet, to be in this space with all the changes that are happening around you now, and you get to choose not to be locked down in your mind's identity with all of your familiar patterns in the survival human state. Instead, you get to learn how to expand and grow and become who you came here to be, in your fullest expression with your strongest intention. You and every person here came with the intention and purpose to be able to create on this planet. The planet and population are evolving and changing into conscious creators. You must be able to change and work with it. If you want to be able to stay and play with all the vastness, with all the opportunities and experiences this planet has to offer. There's a percentage that will never tap into that, and that's okay. That's their personal journey, which is different from yours. Then there is a huge percentage who are seeking to tap into this creative energy and have no idea yet of their potential. That's exciting, isn't it? The game is about to be changing the vibrations of the human race, who are evolving into consciousness and knowing their personal connection to their soul whilst living on the planet. This is just so perfect. This is accessing powerful energy and why you were scorched or drowned, in my case, years and years and years ago, because the power that you have access to was too powerful and frightened the minority who didn't want to get into this. There are steps to integrate into this that the card goes on to explaining a little bit more. You don't want to be locked into that narrow bandwidth that has you under the table. Okay, that narrow bandwidth, which is your conduit, can start as just a very fine filament, and then it can go into kind of like a drain pipe size, and you're in the flow, and then it can expand into, this tube, and then eventually it expands to all around you, so that in your aura you have access. and you go regularly up and you go regularly down and you admit that you are part of the flow, that you are the abundance, you are the golden treasure within, you're the golden egg. And I think it was a few weeks ago that we did a training of how you actually clean your aura and keep that clean and pure and pristine as well, so that you are operating as spirit living in this human body. But you are spirit. If you just knew, forget the human, if you just knew that you are spirit, so much would be so better for you. But it does take time to calibrate, to integrate, and to put that into play. Now, that's where I come in. That's where Manifest with the Dragons comes in as part one of the whole journey of your being consciously competent within your soul experience. Whoa. So let's go on to card number 2. Let's pull that out of the deck and see what is coming up here. Malika warrior era hara kitiki ea wo. Lambayera kooriera. Neka. Let's see what's going to come up. Oof. Okay, let's see. Number 20. We do love a good one from Raphael. Card number 2 this week is Raphael, the very stunning, very patient, very gorgeous silver dragon. Raphael, he comes up with the earth energy. Yeah, he fills up your aura with the earth energy. And because he's silver and just so, God, he's like a professor. He wants so much detail for you to be able to operate on Earth. Let's just see what he's saying now, which is not said before. To enable you to operate on Earth, they need the frequencies. They need to feel what it is that you feel. Now, let's just see what this one is about. Oh my goodness, step out of your way again. So that was step to your side, Serafina. Raphael is giving you more detail. Step out of your own way. Whenever you feel you are sabotaging your deepest desires and goals, then it's time to step out of your own way. This is simply a way of stepping outside of the identity that you have adopted that allows you to cope so far in the world. There is a personality you have created that guards you and helps you survive. There is an overthinking ego self and a familiarity to the culture and the rules to follow from the society where you've placed yourself on this earth journey. Here, in this place, we believe that we are told what is possible, that we are informed and educated about the politics and the people and the power have over you, the health that you can achieve, the wealth that you can aspire to, and everything within the limited confines of what you are or were taught to be familiar with. The benefits of being able to create are immense. However, evidence is often a missing link required and needed from humans before you can step out of your way and create on a much grander scale. There is, however, no obvious benefit to you becoming a creator if you are stubbornly stuck in the blind habit of overthinking. You don't see it or believe it, and it does not exist for you. Then why would you go and adopt a life of trusting your innate state, your sixth sense, your feminine intuition, your gut instincts, and following your heart and reading clairvoyant messages? These feelings in your body are of your intuition rising up from inside you and are here to call and guide you onwards to a much better existence. There would be no need to convince you as somebody who is stuck in disbelief in the illusion and the matrix of 3D, of the linear thinking world, that even something else could even be considered. A little bit more. Choosing to step out of your way or have to convince yourself will not be necessary or be the path that is best suited for you. Your soul, however, will, be set to remind you frequently, as that is the true nature of your soul, and to assist you to evolve and bring into your awareness that you can project your energy. remind you that you are the creator of your circumstances and that you are alone, that you alone can change how you feel. You alone can change your experience of living day by day. You get to experience that is a million miles apart from living in the matrix, as you like to put it. So thank you very much, Raphael, for adding some more detail into this week's mission as we accelerate and as we decide to go and live more as the spirit, step out of our own way. So that was card number 2. Now, card number 3, let's see what's happening in card number 3. Don't forget that down below, I will be putting the links into watching somebody stepping into the fact that, yeah, of course, stepping into the fact that they know that they are spiritual and that the world now can operate very differently around you, that you accept that. Of course, it's a practice, and that's what I help people to do. So let's go in and find card number 3. Nika, ilo, vitsikira filia. Iskaralia lombuole, karara. Ikkaroreala. Okay, so that called you out. All right, we have Sovereign as card number 3. Sovereign number 35. The beautiful Sovereign, by the way, she is the one who brings you into your soul connection. Here we go, 34, 35, 36. There we go. Sovereign is the purple dragon, card number 3 this week. So if this is what you're going to integrate this week, if you chose card number 3, card number 3 is asking you to filter out, cleanse your energy to the highest vibration and sovereign state. So you can look in my group in the guide section, and I will put the link to being able to filter out, because this is amazing. You need to be able to clean your aura. You need to be able to keep yourself pristine so that you can actually access more of who you are and the information and start integrating that. So what is this card all about? Being able to integrate yourself as a soul. This is what Sovereign stands for. Sovereign is there to say, remember who and what you are. In your sovereign state, you are spirit living in a human body. We can hear it and we can understand that's where we're coming from. But then how do you actually do that? What are the solutions? How do I start operating like that? And this is what we're teaching. This is what the dragons have taught me and still teaching me. And this is what we're teaching as we go into being consciously competent. When we step into this, we're stepping into phase number 2. Right, how do I do this from the soul's perspective? Most people I talk to, they're already aware. They're already like, I need to do this, but they're in their heads. They're not necessarily embodying it. Let's see what her message is all about. It's time now to actively attend to your energy. Just as you wash your hair or your car, your energy requires a thorough clean and a reset frequently. Your personal filter surrounds you and acts as an energetic boundary and can and does get clogged. It can eventually break down from the steady stream of being bombarded and even penetrated by less desirable energy from people, places, and your environment. Don't we know that? Outside influences have been penetrating your filter and getting to your core, affecting your intuition, your mental clarity, your physical health, and wearing you down, sucking all your energy out. It's time to cleanse so that you can effectively filter out and adjust your settings to decide what gets in and what you send out. You are a receiver and transmitter. You may look like a human. You're not a machine or a great big antenna, but you are technically you are a fabulous transmitter and receiver, depending on what you're sending out and depending what you're allowing in. And a living energy being that has a filter that acts in your best interests. Imagine that you can see yourself within a thin membrane that goes all the way around your body and even encompasses your aura. This is a good and safe way to project out all of your positive soul thoughts, your soul-to-soul communication, your curiosity about the world, and radiate safely who you really are. This thin membrane is like a living jelly and feels, when it is adjusted to you, to be impenetrable and protective. Within this filter membrane, you are your best energy, you are the alpha, and you are sovereign, you are the boss. You feel strong and powerful and have certainty at your core state. If you've ever felt into certainty, wow. And most of us, when we start putting our programs together, when we start putting our business together, when we start putting, things, arguments to do with our relationships or negotiations, we don't come from certainty. If you were to come from certainty, this is above the table. This is where you start putting yourself out there. Like, I'm absolutely certain. So you're creating. I'm absolutely certain that this is just going to go absolutely brilliantly. It's a win-win situation for everyone. I'm putting out there that when people are listening to these messages, they have so much information coming through. They understand what's going on. This is going to land, and they're going to get the activation. They're going to absolutely love these messages. They're going to come back every single week. They are lucky to be in our energy, because with the dragons and myself translating, you are raising your frequency every single week. That is an intention. That is a creation from above the line. Not, oh, I hope people like what I'm doing. No, this is the intention above the line. Like, what else is going to be said here? You are the alpha. You are the sovereign. You feel strong, powerful, and have certainty at your core state above the table. The filter can be any color that you want it to be. You can really feel into the vision of this filter and imagine you are safe inside your soul's protective energy field. Again, listen for the lookout in my group, Practical Magic, where I will put the link to how to clean your filter on a regular basis. Some people have to do it once or twice or 3 times a day, depending who they are surrounded by. This is an incredible, incredible energy source. And Sovereign comes on and cleans your energy source. You learn how to clean your aura from the inside so that you're staying pristine. So thank you very much, Sovereign, for card number 3 this week. And we are now going to go into card number 4, message and activation number 4. If you selected number 4, this is for you. But all the messages this week, listen to all of them, because it puts you into such a better, higher state. And that's why I do these on a Monday, so that we can start our week off with very clean, pure energy. Okay. Mayolo ora ke ira hetki e momolo leika. Iakara barriere te omburu. Niala ke ara. And they're popping out very quickly today. Oof. Oof. I like this message that's just come up. So we are looking at Tara. Tara, the dragon that came to me on the beach. I don't know who has not heard that story about the dragon coming to me on the beach and sending the dog across the beach. Absolutely crazy. So Tara, yeah, the dragon that came to me on the beach, sending the dog across the beach, absolutely crazy, breaking its leash to come and meet me and be in that energy too. This message, oh my goodness, number 4. Hopefully you chose this, because this is incredible. They're all incredible this week. Safe and sound in myself, wherever I am and whoever I'm with. You are safe. There is no better feeling than knowing how safe you feel. Knowing who you are, and when you come home to feeling safe at any time in your body, just reconnected with your soul. So that takes you back to card number 3, which was Sovereign, about being in your soul. You carry that ability with you wherever you are, whoever you're with. It is your safe place. When I started learning about this and the dragons were teaching me about this, the phrase in my head was, wherever you lay your hat is your home. So in other words, wherever you are, your home. You don't need to feel discombobulated when you walk into somewhere. It's like, which I used to do as, as a student and as a young girl. I'd be terrified of walking in the school canteen. I'm like, oh my God, it's just, and then the college canteen, it was even bigger. I was like, oh my God, hiding behind my hair and my great big coat. So you get to learn that, your safety is on the inside of you. You carry that wherever you are. Wherever you lay your hat is your home. Let me know if that's working out for you as well. As a spiritual being coming in through birth to life and experiencing this world with its concepts of dense physical vibrations, strong needs to survive, and being educated in negative expectations, you as a soul have to accustom yourself to everything that for the soul is not the truth. Wow, that is all below the table. Can you see that? We've been educated of everything, low expectations, negative expectations. This is all going to go wrong. I'm not good enough. All below the table. Love it. You are a super conscious being made of energy and operate with frequency and originated in the realms where unity, love, freedom, and abundance were normal. These old concepts of feeling unsafe and bombarded with negative stories and beliefs that seem to be so real that no wonder life in this world can seem so confusing. You are a spirit here in flesh and bones body, living in vibrations that are dense and slow in comparison and negative comparison to your own. Everything you know intuitively as a soul seems not to fit and feels unreal and unnatural, and a negative survival experience of the collective population seems so much real to you. Getting back to feeling safe will be the basis for everything that you do from now on, as you move forward into being a multi-sensory, consciously feeling soul, connected, connected to your person, your soul, integrated. You will feel safe to be heard. You will feel safe to be judged, even to be criticized. You will know the truth of it because you know who you are, and you are unaffected by the criticism and the judgment. Building a phenomenally power inner strength and that you get to tap into, you will feel safe. You will be loved to demonstrate all of your being. You won't be frightened of being hurt because it matters not, because you know who you are. You are spirit. You are love. You are united. You are abundant. You are everything you ever wanted from this planet. You are already. Let me skip. What matters is how much love you can handle, how much love you can show, how much love you can receive, all above the table, how much peace you can feel, how much expansive joy you can house in your body. Your feelings have been so limited that it is scary to experience just how much your feelings have been turned down and turned off. You think there is going to be a payoff if you receive so much love or so much abundance or touch much more money, because maybe there will always be some pain to enjoy. This is the reptile mind projecting fear and negative expectations, such a small part of the mind controlling and programming your life. Now, you see, if that is the small part of you, which is basically the whole theme of this week, if that is the small part of you, and you can actually start to see and believe and get evidence of the big part of you, the spiritual part of you, you will feel safe. You will be able to go forward and do like crazy stunts and feel certain that every single thing you do will work out well. Now, that is the joy, and that is a message to end on today. So that was the beautiful Tara coming through to give us a message. And my part is to let you see that you are spirit, that you are invincible, that you are strong on the inside. What if you were to put yourself out there as spirit? What if you were to put yourself out there and you had only certainty that this was actually going to hit the right people, that it was going to integrate with people, that it was going to call in the right clients for you, if you had absolute certainty that this was the way to live and love and operate from your abundance, you would start asking questions instead of like, oh, how long is this going to go on for? And, the dragons would come back and kind of say, as long as it takes you to remember who you are. And, your next response, your next way of asking a question might very well be, how did I get to be so supported? How did I get to be so abundant? How did I get to be so organized and allow so much guidance in? This is the joy and the beauty of being present to everything that's going on around you. If you'd like to receive more, my name is Fiona Robertson. I am a conscious wealth and worth business mentor, so that you are operating from this sense. You are operating above the table. So that instead of putting something out there and going, oh gosh, I hope people turn up to this, it's putting it out there, just going, I'm absolutely certain in my frequency, in my energy, I know who I am. Why wouldn't they turn up? This is amazing. So you start operating from that sense, and that calls in the exact right people to you, and you can operate in your highest version of you, which is just absolutely glorious. So look down below, make sure that you get the links. I'm doing a live call on Thursday in my group Practical Magic, and I'll also be putting down there the example of how you step into knowing that you are more than just a human.